Welcome back to the Morning Blend. When you need to sell your home quickly and for cash, our next guest has a way to help. He has the secret no matter what your location is or the condition of your house. Lathe Lavada is a real estate investor, buyer, and owner of First Prime Realty Group. Great to see you.
Thank you.
Why is it that a seller would sell to an investor like you?
Well, the sellers that we typically buy homes from are facing some sort of hardship, such as a divorce, a job loss, a relocation, a death in the family, or maybe they've inherited an unwanted home or rental property, and that's where selling quickly, to me, for cash becomes necessary.
Well, and the quickly part, I think, is an important part of what you do and the service that you provide, and it's that ability to get cash quickly, and that's a big part of what goes into this equation, right?
Yes, it is. I mean, a lot of times when a homeowner is facing a hardship like I just described, sometimes we even have homeowners who are facing a medical condition. We had one gentleman who was facing cancer. He beat cancer, so you know, that's a very good win-win story. But when they're facing something like that and their home is in disrepair, they're unable to sell the property. They don't want to go through a traditional sale. They can't, because buyers can't buy those properties through a lender a lot of times, and the sellers, you know, they don't want to pay the commissions. So we offer another option for them to where they can avoid paying all real estate commissions, all closing costs, because we pay that.
When I think about another reason somebody would need to, or they need to get out quickly, and another reason it's hard to do that, along with all those commissions and costs, is when the home's in disrepair. Because a lot of people like to have their house in show quality when they sell it, but a lot of times there's a lot of things that need to be fixed before you sell.
That's correct. Yeah, a lot of these homes need massive repairs, and the seller is just unable to complete them. And loan buyers, a lot of first-time home buyers, can't buy those properties, don't have the money to buy them. And then, like I said, the lenders can't lend on those properties because maybe they have a bare floor or the roof is in disrepair or something like that.
And that's why these pictures make such a great point about what you're saying, and that is, you know, the before is how a home looks when you buy it as is, and then what you can do to a home to really improve it.
That's right, yeah. We even allow the sellers to leave all their unwanted items in the property, and that becomes very important for the gentleman who was going through cancer. When you're going through something like that, you don't want to have to deal with all the unwanted items that are left in the property. And so I just tell the sellers, leave what you don't want, we'll take care of the rest, and it makes it a smooth, seamless, stress-free transaction for them.
A lot more convenient and quick, as you said. What if the seller needs money in order to be able to make the move ahead of that timing of the sale? Well,
that's a lot of our sellers, because if you think about it, where are they going to move to? Some sellers move with family members or something like that, but that's not always the case. Sometimes they need to move into an assisted living facility. They'll need to lock up that transaction. They may need their money to move in prior to that, or they need to move into a rental, or they're trying to buy a house and they need a down payment. And so it's kind of tough to close on one transaction when you're trying to buy another one or move into a rental property. So what we do is a post-occupancy agreement right there in the purchase agreement that says we'll allow you to stay in the home after close of escrow, get you your cash profits so you can use those for moving expenses and to buy or get into that rental property.
Yeah, it always seems like the buying and selling, the timing never quite meets up, or is never quite convenient. So I think that's great. I wonder what people should know before they consider selling a house to an investor like you for cash.
Well, a lot of times there's these national buyers out there who will put in an agreement to purchase a home, and they'll never do an inspection on the property. And at the end of the transaction, then they'll do that inspection or walkthrough, and then they'll want to reduce the buy price, or they'll cancel the transaction, and that leaves the seller in a really bad situation. We had one gentleman, he was 90 years old. There was a U-Haul in the driveway. He was getting ready to move, and the national seller called him and said, "Hey, we can't buy your home. The numbers aren't working out right," because they never did a pre-offer inspection. And we do things differently than that. We actually look at the home, make sure we understand what the repairs are going to be, so that we can put in a solid, closable offer so the seller is never left in that situation. And thankfully, that seller called us, and we were able to close a transaction in as little as 3 days for him.
That's amazing, 3 days, because you could really be stuck there. You know, you're ready to move, you got the U-Haul in the driveway, and then things aren't as you expected. So it sounds like a seller knows then exactly what their net profit is with the offer that you provide them, with the guarantee. Is it fair to use the word guarantee?
Yeah, I mean, when we put in in an offer, we're saying, hey, this is what we're going to buy it for, above and beyond something oddball like there a lien popping up that they didn't know about, or a credit card that was put against the property. But when we say we're going to close on a number, we do, because I'm the buyer. We're not going to a third-party lender or something like that. So we're going to close these transactions for the seller, and we close the transaction at a third-party title and closing company, so the seller's enabled to get the cash at closing, and we're able to get a free and clear title. And that's really important. You don't want a kitchen top closing where you sign your property away, and you can sign a purchase agreement. That's different. That goes to escrow and title, but you don't want to sell away your ownership rights until the buyer brings the money to closing and everybody is signed. And that ensures a clean title for us, and it ensures that the seller gets their cash profits. And we put a net in the purchase agreement, so the seller is always knowing what they're going to get at the end of the day.
It's wonderful. And if people want to find out if you can buy their home, I know all they need to do is call you, because you offer a 24-hour no obligation cash offer. So if this sounds good to you, you need to sell your home for cash, you'll want that guaranteed, quick and easy, no obligation 24-hour cash offer. You can call this number, it's on your screen, 414-310-6955, or visit this web address. It's wewillbuymilwaukee.com. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.